Hey there, Chris Gamble from Customised here for another episode of the Home Tech Half Hour, live from our offices here in Norfolk. This is episode 6 of the Home Tech Half Hour, and I'm looking forward to following the same pattern we have before. We're going to focus on some tech products. We're going to tackle a technical question we've had this week, and we're going to finish off with a tech tip. So as usual, we did our Twitter poll this week, and the 4 products that we had were Philips Hue motion sensor, Logitech Circle 2 camera, Sonos Playbase, and Apple TV 4K. Very, very close poll, and for the first time we had joint winners. So we had the Sonos Playbase at 29% of the vote and the Logitech Circle 2 with 29% of the vote. So I'm going to focus on both. I did consider doing a follow-up poll, but we're just going to roll into 2 product spotlights today. So I'm lucky enough to be able to show you both of them. In a moment I'll flip the camera around and we'll start with the Sonos Playbase. Then I'll have to reposition the camera and focus in on the Circle 2 camera. Okay, so start with Sonos. Sonos Playbase is an unbelievable addition to your TV setup. Modern televisions for a long time have suffered from very poor audio quality, and a lot of us are familiar with sound bars, but Sonos Playbase is very different in that it is a sound base. So you see that white speaker there on top, fully amplified speaker, so TV cinema sound plus a music streamer for all your favorite online music services, and that's a huge benefit of the Sonos sound bar, the play bar, and their bass, the Playbase. These are not just audio upgrades for your TV, they're also an amazing audio streaming devices as well from all your favorite services. So the Sonos Playbase itself is designed to handle a television sitting on top. It can take up to 35 kilograms or 77 pounds if you're outside of the UK, and that was for my US listeners. Very low profile in its height, but if you can see on the image there is a depth factor to it. So it would sit on top of a piece of TV furniture, and your television can sit on top of that. If you do not have it wall mounted, you can sit your television on top and it will handle, like I say, up to 35 kilos, which even some old school TVs don't even exceed that weight. The connections to it are very simple. In its simplest setup, 2 cables, power and optical audio connection from the television. Most TVs now for probably the last 5, 6, 7 years have had an optical audio output. There is another connection in the back which is for Ethernet, which is optional, but we highly recommend that if you're going to have this set up with additional Sonos products like maybe a subwoofer and rear speakers using Play 1 or Play 3 speakers from the Sonos lineup. The speaker itself is available in black or white, so you can see it in white there, which suits the decor that we're trying to achieve in this place, but you've got that black finish as well for matching typical TV colours. Inside the unit you've got 10 internal amplified drivers providing the sound. So in that array you can see at the front there's 10 speakers in there, so I think it's 6 mid-range, 3 tweeters and 1 subwoofer driver. The price of the Sonos Playbase is £699, which is the same price as the Sonos Playbar. The Playbase can also be grouped with a sub, like I say, to have a cinema sound with some additional bass from the awesome Sonos sub. And if you wanted rear surround sound in your TV cinema setup, you can add Sonos Play 1s, Sonos Play 3s as a pair, And when you set that app, the Sonos app guides you through the setup quite simply to set up a cinema sound. So I'm just going to flip the camera around. If anybody's got any questions on Sonos Playbase, please fire away during the live stream, and I'll come back to them and answer them. The next product, because we're fitting in 2 products again, so if you missed the start, we had a close Twitter poll this week. Both 29% of the vote went to Sonos Playbase and Logitech Circle 2 camera. So let me reposition the camera, and I'm going to focus in on the Logitech Circle camera. So 1 second, guys. Okay, so the little white or black circle you can see there is the Logitech Circle camera. So I've got it mounted on a piece of furniture there, and this is a full high definition 1080p camera for indoor and outdoor use. So it is in a suitable location. It is weather rated. The camera itself has some adaptable mounting positions. I've got it on the table stand, but the same bracket can be used to mount it onto a wall. And Logitech also have a really cool feature that allows you to mount it into a plug socket. So if you imagine maybe a high level socket you have above your kitchen unit, you can put an adapter in it so that it there's no wiring, it's just mounted straight into a plug socket. So that's pretty cool. The other one that I like, which we've done for a couple of clients, is using the window mount. So it's like a suction pad that fits to the camera, allowing you to fix it onto glazing to get an external view. I will say that in the setup, especially at night time, you just got to be mindful of the infrared night vision settings so that you don't get a lot of glare from a reflection. So that's something to bear in mind. The Logitech Circle 2 camera is fully app driven, excellent, easy to use app for your cameras. If you have multiple Logitech Circle cameras, you can manage them all from one app. Integration wise, the cameras, as you'd expect from Logitech, they work so well with so many other control systems. Works with the Amazon Echo framework, so you could use an Echo Show to pull up the camera image. If you're an Apple HomeKit user, the Logitech Circle 2 cameras, the indoor-outdoor version, works within your Apple Home app, so you can see a live view of that alongside your lighting, your thermostat, etc. And also works with Google Assistant in that you can ask for the stream from the camera to be pulled up on a Google Chromecast input to your TV, so you can summon a command to view it on your big screen television. The final device that we've integrated it with is the Logitech Pop button, and we use that to turn the privacy on and off on the camera. So with a simple button press of a Logitech Pop button, toggle the camera between permanently streaming or permanently viewable, and then toggle it to a privacy setting that it's not capturing any footage, but you could view it on demand from the app. So in that case, you wouldn't get motion alerts as well. So the camera does have motion alerts built in, and we use it in our office as an internal security camera to get motion detection alerts. I'm just going to take the camera mobile just for a second, because I'm going to show you it working on the Echo Show, because we're doing well on time here. So I'm going to go mobile. So Echo Show here, if you're familiar with that, we can issue a command to it to bring up the camera feed. So computer, show me the media room.
Okay.
So here it's talking to Logitech over the cloud connection. I've enabled that skill within Amazon. So I'm just waiting for that connection. So now we've got a live view of the camera the camera that we were just zoomed in on in the video there. That's the perspective it gives me as the owner of it. And I've got a nice wide angle view of our office, like I say, with motion detection when needed. So, computer, stop. Okay, so I'm just going to reposition the camera again, guys. So apologies again for taking you on a bit of a tour. I'm going to bring the camera back to where I was seated. And I'm going to some of your questions. Okay, right, a couple of questions here. Can the Playbase be wall mounted behind a TV? There are no available fixing points for the Playbase. Plus, the orientation of it is quite critical. It's not like the play bar where you can, have it on its side or on top. You have to have it on a level surface, on a piece of furniture. Even if you came up with a method of mounting it, I wouldn't recommend wall mounting a Playbase. All I would suggest is if you're interested in the product, check out the Sonos website. There's some excellent info on the tech specs, sizes and things like that, so to see if it's suitable for your furniture. But yeah, it's definitely not a wall mountable product. Final one, would you recommend the Playbase over the Play Bar? Two very different products, two different scenarios. And styling wise, I'm a huge fan of the Playbase. I flip that around again. I just love that big slab. It's like it's been cut from a piece of granite. The sound, I would say the Play Bar has the edge on sound. If I'm being critical, I think the Sonos Playbase just lacks that little bit of bass that the Play Bar gives out. And that's just us doing a side-by-side comparison. Style-wise though, the Playbase is a winner for me. The option of having that black or white finish is a real benefit. The the flexibility of the Play Bar, smaller form factor, wall mounted if required, and there are accessories for it to hang it from a TV bracket that might have some movement. We're big fans of TVs on a moving bracket with the Play Bar hanging below. But I think the Playbase is new. I think there will be more accessories for it. We have seen a TV bracket that allows you to have the Playbase but have the TV on a swivel mount so that you can angle the screen to your preference. So appreciate the questions there. Keep them coming. If you've any questions again on the Circle 2 camera, price-wise, that sits at around about the $139, $149 pricing. Pricing changes, you can find it cheaper maybe in a Amazon listing or Maplin, for example. But I would go to the Logitech website, see the videos, see how the different mounting options. It's a fun camera, it's easy to use, and for me that's a big factor. Traditionally, cameras that are monitoring your home for a long time, they've been in the dark ages. The way that the user experience of cameras for the home have been awful. But with the introduction of products like Nest, Dropcam, and Logitech's cameras, and Ring, another favourite product of ours, the user experience is enhanced so much. So I'm going to roll in now to the tech Q&A, and it's a slightly different one. That we did an interview with a client that we've captured on audio and video, and it's something that we're going to be releasing much later in the future for a series of videos that we're doing as a business. But we spoke to a homeowner who's not a customer of ours, completely, no relationship with Customised, didn't know what we did. We wanted that because we wanted to understand their relationship with technology in their home and how they are coping with technology demands. That people have a family, these people have work full time and things that there's a few things that they had some queries about. But we asked them about their technology and had they ever had a professional install it, and the answer was everything that they'd done to date had been DIY. They'd bought the products themselves, gone through the setup, plugged them in, got them working, and admitted that they probably do not have the products operating at their best. They feel the products are being let down in their home by external factors like poor broadband speed. And if the speed is adequate, it's being let down by poor Wi-Fi coverage. That led to me asking the homeowner about who would you turn to for support with these issues, broadband speed. Immediately they said they would turn to the service provider, which they've done, and have not had the speeds delivered, and no upgrades imminent. And at that point they stopped the conversation. They didn't pursue it further to look at alternatives. A 2-minute conversation with us highlighted that there are alternatives, and that's my job now to signpost better to the services we provide with 4G broadband, possibly satellite broadband, and possibly other service providers that they've not pursued, like community broadband schemes, which are growing in popularity. In terms of the Wi-Fi coverage in their home, we explained that that's a very, very common question, a common issue. They're not alone there. They did say they'd bought some extender kits from, I think they said from Maplin or Curry's, and they're now in a habit of when they're in one part of the home, they have to disconnect from a weak signal to try and reconnect to an extender hotspot that they've installed in another part of the home. And just that inconvenience, especially if they're doing any streaming of audio or video, or they may be on a voice call, maybe using WhatsApp, things like that, where it'll disconnect the call, or the call quality will reduce. These are like such common pain points that it frustrates me that in this era where people are struggling with that in their home. I know it's the environment and the construction of buildings. Again, I asked who would you turn to for this, and I asked them what kind of Google search phrases they would put in, and the searches they submitted pulled up blogs about Wi-Fi extender kits from all the sort of journalists, the trade press, gadget websites, So they would have been led down a road of just buying more extender kits. But when we drilled down locally, and I said, look for somebody local, and sure enough, within 3 searches they'd found us, which was a good test for us. So a slightly different tech Q&A there, but it's just a little bit of insight into some of the things that we're doing as a business to engage with local people with us, to improve our availability, to improve our services. So definitely stay tuned in the coming months for a series of videos that Customised are going to be doing. Getting back onto the tech, there's not really any major questions that come in this week that we haven't gone over before. We're still getting the same things. What wiring should I put in my home? I've answered that. And go back to episode 3, 4, and 5. It's there. Some feedback we had on the previous episode, remotely controlling the home. we noticed an issue during that live video that we were aware of, and somebody noted it in the comments, the viewing of the Logitech circles in the Apple Home app. I will say that after a recent update, the live streaming, live viewing of the cameras has been significantly better. We've had no issues for the last 3 or 4 days following an update to the Logitech Circle cameras. And that is really where I'm going to close up the show with a tech tip. Keep your products updated. The reason for the updates are purely to make the service better for you as the user. It may be enhanced security, it may be new features, it may be to fix a bug that's known. You know, technology is not perfect. I just love that statement because it isn't. We all get frustrated with it. Even the most expensive phone, you have to quit apps and you know, turn it off at times. So keep your products updated. Look for app updates. Devices that you've purchased, whether it's cameras, games consoles, remote controls, music systems, always keep them up to date as much as you can to get the best performance from them. This has been episode 6 of the Home Tech Half Hour. Anything that we've talked about during the show and you have questions on, please add comments to the live stream, or if you need to directly message us, use Facebook Messenger. Find us on things like Instagram and Twitter and have conversations with us there, or contact us through our website. It's customised.uk.com, or just Google search Customised and we'll pop up. So I've been Chris Gamble. Thank you for all the people that viewed live and asked us questions. Join us again 12 p.m. next Saturday. We'll be here again. We're not going to Cardiff again. So thank you for watching. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.